And good morning. It's your friendly neighborhood Tironan, and today we're going to be looking at the Spitfire Mark 14. This was the iconic Spitfire of the late war. Um, it addressed some of the problems of the 9, which was the 9 was put in essentially as a stopgap measure to get the 14. The 14 was a Griffin powered Spitfire, extremely quick, extremely fast. You'll notice some changes on this aircraft over the other. You now have the clipped wings, which gave it better roll speed. Um, you now have 420 millimeter guns on it as the primary armament. Uh, Much faster aircraft, and I'm not sure we're doing it's represented accurately here, but let's go ahead and take a look at it. Survivability starts at 320. When you get your airframe upgrade, which is probably the first thing you're going to want to do, you get an additional 20 survivability points. You get a boost of 13 to airspeed and 21 to maneuverability. Now that's an engine upgrade all by itself. When you look at this, you get 11 with your first engine upgrade, and then it goes on from there. This can simply be purchased when you pick up your aircraft, so you don't have to research it. So from that point on, you get your airframe and then roll on down. For equipment, what I'm going to suggest to you here is a little different because fully upgraded, you're looking at that plus 13, so 724. And what I'm going to suggest may sound a little different from what I normally do, but I would get the aircraft polish because it gives you 5% to your speed, and this needs an increase in speed. Then get the lightweight airframe, which gives you 3% maneuverability in all axes, and then get your surface control adjustments. You need the speed. All right. I know 724 sounds like a lot, but this is a Tier 8 aircraft where things are pushing past 800. So even with that 5%, you're going to be a little bit hurting in the speed requirement. And that will address that somewhat. I find that the aircraft is accurate enough. You may have to zoom in a little bit more given the fact that you're now looking at a range of 2,500 feet. 2493, so you might as well say 2500, and if you can tell the difference in 7 feet, be sure to let me know. The aircraft is incredibly quick, and it's powerful enough that it does things in the vertical plane almost better than it does in the horizontal plane. I got into a dogfight with this just to test it out before I did some other things today, and managed to survive in a furball where it was me against 5 other fighters. Now, I was in a fugue moment. We all get them, right? You step in and just nobody's going to beat you, period. And that was one of those things. So I managed to stay alive and shoot down all 5 aircraft. Yeah. Wish I could do that more often, right? And please, if I've ever represented myself as Mr. Uber Pilot, you can take one look at my ratings and realize I'm not. Okay, so, but it's just one of those moments that you get that you treasure once in a while. All right, so we're going to move right along here. So my recommendation for here is get your aircraft polished, get your lightweight airframe, and get your controlled surface adjustments. And you should have one heck of a tourney fighter. One with speed and with good reach on its guns and good power to go vertical when it needs to. That's not your standard turn and burn. That's barely your standard turn and burn in Tier 8. It's a very effective aircraft. Whether I can show it off to its best advantage is another thing entirely, but we're going to go ahead and try for you. Just telling a friend of mine that I'm recording right now and that I'll be back with him here. I'm glad that they mix up the maps a little more than they used to. Okay, we got a pair of Tier 8s. And everything else is Tier 7, which is lovely. Nice to get that once in a while, right? And I believe one guy's a bot. Shigino is a bot. That JM8 is something else, though. And that 109 TL is nothing, is no joke. Both of them will be considerably faster than this aircraft.
You are approaching the front line. Off we go.
Now, we have mostly bots here, so you will notice that the fighters immediately rush off to take on the air base. Do not follow the bots. Will not get you anything, and my main job here is to tie up the fighters and keep them off my ground attack aircraft. And you've heard me say it before, but when you run out of ground attack aircraft, your chances of winning just effectively go to zero unless you shoot down all the aircraft. And that gets tough. And I think that will answer the firepower question. It's got plenty to do with what it needs to do. And it's fast. And boy, is it agile. Now, this is before the airframe upgrade. Alright, we have now we've now killed all the enemy aircraft. Let's see if I can help out a little bit here with the soft targets and not kill myself and pulling a tier and ramming the ground. Help out your ground attack aircraft any way you can. Yep, just mangled myself. I'm good at that. I mean, just exceptional. I like to fly into the ground. I'm not quite sure why I'm so good at that, but I am. Oh, here we go. Something I can do besides get shot up. One pass kills are kind of nice. And I got Red Company here, and I'm all torn up, and the anti-aircraft batteries are still after me. So, I did not get a lot of help from my bots on that one. And they're all over there at the... Well, it looks like they're coming in right behind me. Too late. Okay. Well, we'll come in here. And I guess I'll be following bots now. Got overwhelmed there.
Bomber squadron detected. Engage them immediately.
Oh, all the bombers are going now after all our fighters now after the bombers. I'm going to just about guarantee it. And I wouldn't want to be in that Hornet for love nor money. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. That was Evan, the bot that shot me down earlier. And just like in all 20s, you overheat very quickly. And somebody who is just enjoying the hell out of shooting me up. And I'm going to guess it was a Spitfire over here. Which, however, does not relieve me of the responsibility of killing aircraft, so I've got to do that. Alright. The thing that makes this so deadly is it's got reach too, on top of being very turny. And you very quickly make somebody regret that they got anywhere near you. So hopefully we'll get some of our hit points back. Remember, you're going to have to lighten up, and you got a little icon on your left to show you just what you're doing. And we've now killed the aircraft. Okay. This kind of goes against my better judgment, but I will come in here and shoot down a couple of bombers. If nothing else, to keep the fighters from spending all their time from chasing bombers.
A line of thunderstorms is approaching. We'll soon be unable to provide support. Do you copy? Over.
All right.
The threat to the complex eliminated. Way to go!
What I dislike about this is not only does it send fighters, but it sends verbal encouragement to do something that's pretty dumb. And we're not going to be able to get any help here. So all we can do is try to preserve our base. Trying to figure out what's the best strategy here. And because of the fact that I'm not going to get any help on fighters whatsoever, I've got an all-bot team, except for me and the guy on the opposition side. There's just not a whole lot of percentage in going and trying to take a capture point by myself. So what I can do is very quickly eliminate bombers. This is a weird game because you have virtually no human intelligence on either side. That could be said for me too, by the way. But I will say that 9 out of every other, me and Head Zone on the opposite side, are the only players that are the only players that have a human intelligence behind it. In my case, that might be questionable, but, you know, play along with me.
The enemy has gathered
And I was afraid of that. Now we have just seconds to make up the difference. And let's see if I get any help with the fighters.
We are losing the initiative. Push hard. Attention, all aircraft. Fall back and regroup.
All right. Well, I did about all I could do there, but I'm still questioning whether I should have stayed back at the other, at our command base, and if I could have done some good there. Don't know. All right, so 14 aerial targets destroyed, 6 assists. Did pretty good in that. Whoops. Got asked by one of my viewers that he wanted to see, what I was scoring and so forth and so on. We got a lot of experience points out of this, a lot of silver, and some free experience on top of that, so I'm really not going to complain too much. Sure, it's not helping my win-loss record, but sometimes I get confounded at what else I could have done. All right, so take a look at the upgrades, see if there's anything I can get. I'm going to hold out for the airframe because I think it's really important. The survivability points, the airspeed, and the maneuverability all in one package makes it worth it. The engine actually going to cost me a little bit more, not much, but a little bit. So this is going to be worth it, and then I'll start running down the engine chain. By the time you finish, you get to your. In fact, we can add a little equipment right here. I really do want the aircraft polish. So we'll add that to it. That will make us a little faster. It's not going to show here, but as I understand it, it's 5% to top speed and 25% when you're in a dive. We'll see if that works or not. Next stop will be the new airframe. A couple of rounds with this should get me that, and then we'll start working down the engine line. So given the amount of time that it takes to work up Tier 8 aircraft, especially get them up there and then go to Tier 9, so you understand that I'm not just whining here, I will need 3.5 million points to get there. That's going to take grinding on a fairly large scale, which is going to slow down my introduction of Tier 8 and Tier 9 aircraft. So you will get more in-flight reviews of existing aircraft, as I'll talk a little bit more about strategy, about equipment, and about add-ins, and we'll be putting in some with the special that will start tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of opportunities to get new aircraft, premium aircraft in this. I am going to strongly advise you to partake of the holiday extravaganza that they're throwing for us and get yourself some free aircraft, some free loot, and just enjoy the heck out of it, because it's going to be a nice one. That upgrade patch is due to go in tonight, so that you know. I've already seen the notice, and it should be active tomorrow. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I will, and I'm planning to really enjoy it myself. Until then, remember to like the video if you do like it. Subscribe if you haven't. I need all the subscribers I can get. We're coming along on the subscriber front very well. I will tell you that this time, 30 days ago, I was looking at 50 subscribers, and we are over 130. That's a long way from a Jingles or an iChase or somebody like that, but I'm very pleased. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Please remember to subscribe. I can use all the help I can get here. Thanks a whole lot. We'll see you tomorrow.